I hate to bring this full circle, but this is just like the Microsoft Activision merger that we had talked about, right? Where we're in this merging, we lose the identity of something that is very important to a very specific generation, and the generations before that as well. And now current generations don't understand the impact that it took in order to get us to this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Message.
What a neat bow that we're tying on all of this.
Kareem, when you edit this, could you put "Good Riddance" by Green Day over that?
Yes.
Thank you.
I would definitely do that. Well, I have one last question, and maybe this. All right. Well, I'm going to move to our bridge before we move into the new stuff. Go ahead. Sorry, Ken.
I just one thing. I do want to tag on this is because it's one actor who actually has been in, like he was in the Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, and then he was also in The Rundown with The Rock, and Ernie Reyes Jr. has had a fantastic career, and like he's like as of The Rundown, he was still like up and kicking. I don't know if he's still out there doing too much action stuff. I know he's like kind of just doing like more. I don't think he's actually just doing stunt coordination now. But like, there's a point where you're like, okay, maybe are they still up for the role? And I'm not sure. Like, I mean, Jet Li, I think is the same reason, and same reason Jackie Chan's kind of retired is like I've hurt myself too much. I'm not that guy anymore. Like I can do another Rush Hour where I make jokes, but I'm not going to be jumping off of this 18 times to get that one take.
Yeah, it's an analogy, and I think Pat will pick this out because he and I both talk sports ball. But it's when you have like a guy in the NBA who goes to the lane and does amazing stuff, does it well for 7 to 8 years, and then learns the fadeaway. You have to pivot, and that's the thing with Jackie Chan, and same thing with Jet Li, where they said, you know what, I'm going to go to a Western audience where I can do more acting and less fighting. There'll still be some fighting, but now I rely more on me standing and talking because my body is what it is.
Father Time is undefeated.
But I was going to say our bridge, though, and what I think is one of the last bastions of this type of genre, and it may have been the blend for this, is Jason Statham. I think because he was morally gray, he was also that bridge into like, all right, we're going to start using more gunplay and death in these fight scenes, but the fighting was still the main focus of a lot of his movies.
I mean, there's like lots of other bridges before that, and it's like there's a lot. I mean, The Matrix is before Jason Statham really stepped up, and that's a bigger kind of.
He's our last. I would say our last
action hero.
That's what you always say.
Sort of, yes, to that extent. Yeah, he's the last martial artist, true martial art hero, like a guy who could do the Jackie Chan thing, where it's like we need you to do this fight scene over and over to a point where we can film it, and we don't need to do cutscenes with it because he can do that. But he was also, someone that they trained into like actually acting, talking, and doing some of the Western stuff that Keanu Reeves could do as well. And he would do mostly martial arts, choreography and filming. Like that was his thing. He would beat the shit out of people with pans and fucking knives. I mean, with other objects, not necessarily a lot of gunplay like Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves came in with martial arts, but mostly guns in The Matrix.
I might have another example for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think who takes it further than Jason Statham is Michael Jai White.
Yeah, you're right. He's another good one.
I would say that he not only does he take it further through the years than Jason Statham does, but his films have a point in order to keep the quote unquote purity of martial arts. There is now the intent is there. I would argue if the execution is there or not, because there are some really ridiculous films that he has put out that while he's an incredible martial artist in his own right, the story is not helping him make the point of the purity of martial arts.
Okay.
I like Michael Jai White. I have for quite some time. He was actually like Bronze Tiger in Arrow, and like there's little things. My my problem with him, and I shouldn't say problem, but the thing I bump against is that
skin
he
color. I
No.
knew it, Ken.
That's racist.
Fucking knew it.
It's more so the age thing that we've been discussing,
That's racist.
because it's like he is getting
Okay.
there, and he's also a little bit of like a Steven Seagal
That's gay.
in that I'm going to be and no one will beat me because I am the best, and it's in the contract
Damn.
that I
So-
can't be beaten.
How old is Jason
Like-
Statham? And I just looked this up. How old do you
He's
guys
got to be in
think?
his
Oh.
50s. 51, 52?
58.
63. Okay.
Jesus.
He's only 4 years younger than Jet Li. So I think that's also why he has definitely moved to more like military-based gun movies.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Well-
saying that again. When I say bridge, I mean going from that early or late 90s, early 2000s. He was kind of one of the last. God damn it! He was kind of one of the last guys to center his martial arts ability, his ability to beat you with his hands or any close enough objects around that wasn't a gun. Keanu Reeves, like I said, showed up and was like, I can kick you and hit you with hands, but I'm also going to use this, like, assault rifle lots of times. I'm going to use bombs. There's going to be bullets everywhere.
It's okay. Well, okay. So I mean, I guess
And to push back, can it push back on your age idea as well too? I always like to use the oh gosh, Bob Odenkirk. He was in Nobody.
Nobody,
in
and
2021.
Nobody
That's-
too.
Electric.
but that's
Boogaloo.
also
Yeah.
conversation for But I have a tangent for that as well. No, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna let you.
Oh no. I was just saying, you're right. Like, I want to push back on the idea of age because it's more so how we are portraying physicality and how we are portraying experience. Because I do agree with you in the sense that at one point your age will stop you in like your fighting ability, right? But I think there is that sweet spot of older person beating the hell out of younger people. That genre, I feel like we have not capitalized on it enough.
Ooh, bad news. You just described pro wrestling.
Written by
Well,
a bunch of boomers who
Pat,
hate
you just-
millennials.
You
Pat,
just hit
why
a
is
trap
pro
card.
wrestling not martial arts?
Because, well, why is it not? I'm just going to say because of Vince McMahon. Because the
Yeah.
bad guy always wins.
Yeah.
No, I get
pretty
that
much my go-to.
there is a case to be made there that it could be. It makes me uncomfortable. I'll just be honest. It just makes me uncomfortable thinking of it that way.
It's the same argument that I always have with films like Rocky.
Mhm.
Why is Rocky not considered a martial arts film? Is it because it's made in the West? Is it because of the marketing that was associated with it? Like what makes it not considered a martial arts
I
film?
think it's just the style of fighting. I think purely, like, I don't think people consider boxing by itself a martial art.
In the 60s,
Consider
would
it
they
its
have
own thing.
in the 60s would they have dubbed it over and called it Chinese boxing?
Yes.
Well, it's. I mean,
Probably.
Yeah,
It's
that's fair.
the wrestling isn't martial arts because we have the WMAC Masters
Stop it. Get some help.
that were on our
No, we
television.
don't have that
And
anymore.
I
We
wish
don't have
we
that.
still
We don't
had it.
anymore, but we did have it, and that's the delineation.
We had it for 2 years on a Saturday morning.
Man,
And
I
then
just
it
wanted
moved
And
on.
somebody-
wasn't that glorious?
Oh,
No,
so
it was
good.
horrible.
No, what are you talking about?
No, I
Oh
watched it.
God.
I watched it.
There
but
were
I just-
rankings.
I just split the pod.
and none of them made any sense.
Who cares? There were rankings.
Oh,
You
it
had to
was
collect
so
things.
good.
It was
Linda
Mortal
Lee
Kombat.
would come out in order to
Yeah.
introduce everything.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Mortal Kombat meets American Gladiators, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
Linda Lee did, and she told us.
Wait, was American Gladiators scripted?
No.
Wait,
I mean,
Yes,
it's
was.
It was?
no,
is
no,
this a
I-
conspiracy?
No, I you know that's this is a fair like question because I don't know. Like I mean, there was like production value in that, like, oh, they all had characters that they played up. But I think that there was still the potential for the people, because there is the contest element of it, like
The
not
competition
like
element, okay.
Like, there was-
it's
I mean, I
like
guess it's as scripted as like the real world. Like, hey, if you put enough alcohol, someone's gonna hook up.
yeah, exactly. I would
Oh.
agree with it as a script as much that like the producers can definitely like, oh, maybe we throw like do this, or like, yeah, that's fair. But
Hey, I don't want
Yeah.
this guy to win. Get Nitro out there right now.
yeah,
He actually brought a gun. I don't care. Fans will
There
love it.
were guns in
Oh my God.
American Gladiators.
Nitro
Yes, there
slapped
were.
Technically, yes.
Diesel. I can't believe that.
Then he said a bunch of racist stuff that we don't know if we should bleep it out. Bleep it out. Just bleep it out.
But save it for the
Sound of caution.
uncensored DVD.
Yeah.
2004
Years
is
later.
coming. We're gonna need to sell some DVDs here.
With that being said, I want to ask you guys before we get into, I guess, the new era of martial arts and why comic book movies and CGI ruined it. What was your?
That's no
Hold
fine,
on.
fine. We're getting
Hold on,
there.
dude.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Do any of you remember the first martial arts film or franchise that you, I don't know, grew fond of for the genre? Was there a single movie? Was there an actor? Was there a series of movies that you were like, hey, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to start watching more of?
I have it, but I don't know if anybody else needs a minute, and I can go first.
Go ahead.
Or
Yeah,
is
you can
Matt
go
ready
first.
to go? It'd be T-Mac in Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. He
Okay.
is awesome, and it's got an amazing soundtrack, and it's got vanity, and it's an amazing movie. Go see Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Vanity is so beautiful in that film.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I mean, she's oh god,
Almost
actually,
as pretty as the main character.
Oh yeah.
He was a good looking dude.
For me, I distinctly remember going to the video store, and my dad had seen the films before, and he had rented. It was Enter the Dragon, Game of Death, and The Chinese Connection, all at the same time. And
That's awesome.
Back in the day when you rented movies, it had to be back at 11 a.m. the next day.
Yes, such a setup.
So it was one of
But
these
if they
times
were-
where, go for it.
No, I was gonna say it's like yeah, they had to be back by a certain time. But if it was for $1 a night, it was a deal, and I'm fine with that. But that's different.
But I mean, like $1 30 years ago, $1
Yeah,
30,
I-
40 years ago.
I mean, when
but
it's not my dollar, that's great. And your dad,
But
fair.
for a week. Sorry,
I'm just saying versus Blockbuster, where they're like, oh no, your late fees $4 on top of like, it's like no, it's like
it's
yeah.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and so we had to watch all 3 of those films in one night.
That's awesome. I think you said had to. We had to watch it.
Yeah,
the
like you're
terror.
I was, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And so, you're not staying up the whole time for it and everything, right? But I remember this day distinctly because it was he picked us up or we got out of school around like 3 or 4 o'clock. We went to the video store, and then we rented all 3, and then we just proceeded to watch all 3. And I just remember being so enamored, right? And of course, with martial arts films, like as an Asian American,
What?
this is one of the first times I get to see an Asian American play the lead. And yeah, it's not in my language, and yeah, like I have to, like I got to keep up with the subtitles, and as a child, it's tough, right? And getting to see that, right? Like this and Big Trouble in Little China were insane to me, because it was here's an Asian person who is a good guy and one of the leads, and they get to be like just so good at the things that they do, right? And I've seen the Goonies before, and I've seen the Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, right? We're just there to be laughed at and have the comic relief and have a funny accent, right? And so to get to see this, especially Big Trouble in Little China, because oh my gosh, not Patrick Swayze, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's character in Big Trouble in Little China is the joke of the entire film.
Ready? Follow the leader. 1, 2, 3. We may be trapped.
Kurt Russell knows it, but Kurt Russell's character does not know it.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love
He
that.
played it amazing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jack Burton doesn't know he's not
Thank
Jack
you,
Burton.
Like there's like, Burton, Dalton,
Yeah.
like, like
very strong
it's
English
very
names.
final names, right?
Yeah.
Very final names.
How about you, Pat?
Funny enough, it's probably Roadhouse, because my dad was not
Oh, yeah.
into martial arts films, but that one came out, and I just remember seeing that one multiple times. So that's probably where it really.
There's been nobody hotter in film than Sam Elliott in that film.
Yeah.
He is so. Also, he's just that age for the next 30 years after that.
Yeah.
He never changes.
I don't know how he preserved himself. I'm sure it's hard to turn smoking.
He is so. And then they also have like the 80s, like they have the quintessential like 80s like grizzled hot man in Sam Elliott. And then oh my gosh, it's Kelly something. She's the oh my gosh, she's the one that plays the doctor. Kelly Lynch, thank you. Kelly Lynch has the quintessential 80s hot girl transformation because she's in a ponytail and glasses. In the hospital, and then when she goes out to the club, the biggest hair you can find, and she's a bombshell. And she's just Roadhouse has everything. Roadhouse has everything 80s that you ever wanted.
I am mistaken, because I realize it's Karate Kid, if I'm being really honest about it. It's gonna be
because you were in it.
Yes. Do I have to tell the story now?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No,
So Karate Kid was filmed in Reseda. I lived there in Reseda the first 2 years of my life before we moved to hell. I'm going to refer to it as. The apartment complex where they filmed it is the apartment complex where my family lived. And Mr. Miyagi's house is actually my dad's garage. They rented it from him. And supposedly my mother always told me when LaRusso is walking by a window early in the film, you'll see the windows blacked out. That's because she was putting my baby head out there to see what was going on. Now, I haven't checked that in many years, but she did tell me that.
I need to edit in. I need to go, because IMDb is you can edit it as a user and just change it to like cameo Patrick Kellenberger,
baby head,
not
baby
credited.
Head.
Like that's uncredited.
I love that they were probably sitting there going like, how much is the CGI going to cost to edit this part
Just
out?
get a crayon.
Thousands of dollars.
Like,
get a crayon.
They're also like, look at that baby though. We gotta take.
That baby's gotta go. That baby
gotta get out of here.
Maybe we gotta get the baby out.
Now,
of there.
I have confirmed.
It draws the attention and weight. Like people aren't going to care.
He's
about
got red
LaRusso
hair. He's gonna
if
scare
they see that
everybody.
baby.
Get rid of this.
Look at this big old baby head.
Yeah, I was a big baby head.
Kareem, what was one of your firsts though?
I was super late to the genre, despite having seen Last Dragon as a kid. I think I watched it. Same thing with like Bloodsport and some other films. I watched them. I didn't ingest them the way I did until after Rumble in the Bronx. When I watched that movie, I don't know. I must have burned the tape on that, having watched it over and over and over again, and just being introduced to someone. And again, I'd seen Bruce Lee films before. They had a certain gravitas to him because he was a much, I guess you consider more serious of an actor, and the storylines were pretty, sort of morbid if you think about like what was going on in a lot of them. It wasn't until I saw Jackie Chan being kind of a guy who was beatable, as far as, in a fight, you didn't know how badly he would get beat, but he'd always persevere. And at least in many of those scenes in that movie, and I was just like, you know what, this movie gives me another appreciation for the genre. So I went back and watched other ones with that sort of, understanding, having seen what he could do. I'm like, all right, let me go back and see, where these guys make it their movie and how they make it differently. And then let me continue to follow this. And so whenever I was, able to see another Jackie Chan led film, or if he was in something with another, actor, and that, he shared the light with a lot of, I think, super talented females. That was also something that I didn't get to see when I first started watching martial arts. It was always just the guy, and he'd have maybe a partner who did a different type of specialized fighting style, and they would go about it their own way. And that was it. And then if you ever got a specialized female, she was the villain who had to be killed. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like, because they don't get as much screen time, and you know what's going to end up happening to them. So Rumble in the Bronx was my reintroduction to them. And that's where I kind of launched from there. But I think I was, I don't know, 13, maybe 12 or 13 when that came out. So it had been a little
God.
bit.
So just the full effects of Francois Yip just coming at you.
It was just such a, I mean,
she is so beautiful in that film.
Yeah. I'm like,
she's stunning.
Yeah. And he was also it was surprising because he was much buffer than I thought he would be for the type of fighting that he was doing. And I was like, because again, you see him when he's, fully clothed. I'm like, he's kind of a goofball, but he takes the jacket off. I'm like, oh, they're in for it. He's not fucking around anymore.
I also think, with Rumble in the Bronx being a lot of the Western audience's kind of introduction into martial arts films as well, right? Getting that Peking opera training, like as kind of like your first taste for a very certain generation, for a very specific generation, is wild, right? Because what he was doing with Peking opera, it was basically like unheard of in the West. And we keep seeing all this stuff with like him and his team and Sammo Hung and all that stuff in his films in the 70s and 80s. But I mean, do we blame distribution, not having the internet, people being pretty isolationist during these time frames, right?
In America, they don't allow you to do that, because the money just poof.
And his American work is missing something else.
And there's a rhythm also into the way that the shots are performed and also the way they're edited. And Jackie said something very interesting that, that the audience don't know the rhythm's there until it's not there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only reason why I knew we had all these great Asian martial arts films is because the video store that I went to was owned by Asian people. So they were importing a bunch of the stuff that they wanted to watch, which benefits me, right?
Well, that's why I say, like, going, moving forward to the next part of this, the future, or, I guess what eventually becomes of it. There are probably tons of,
before we jump
people
there,
are probably yelling.
Before we jump there, I do have a question. Where does Mortal Kombat fall into this in terms of pushing the desire for that content forward?
I think it's a martial arts film. I think it's
I'm talking the game into the film, but it was such a big cultural moment that put fighting games to the forefront in a lot of ways.
Okay, Ken.
Can I put a pin in your pin?
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lord. You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
And slide in another quick question for everybody. I know it's ridiculous. And
pin the pin. Pin the pin.
We're pinning pins.
Inception.
Something to what Jason just said is his video store was an Asian-owned video store. It was mine. We actually went to the same video store. This is kind of the pre-Blockbuster days where you had a chain. What was your video stores run? Like who did the video stores you guys go to? Because for ours, it was Asian owned, but also I know like they had a shelf for just anime, and they had a wide selection of stuff. They had the beaded curtain in the back too,
and the beaded curtain. It wasn't beaded though; it was just a black sheet.
No, it was just a black sheet. And we that's a different pod, but they had that stuff, and I'm like. I didn't think about that context until just now. It was like, did other small town video stores, how is that affected by the ownership and what they brought in? And that's why I wanted to ask you two real quick.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Pat.
Well, no, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, the one that I frequented before, the Blockbusters of the world took over was, they were mostly like cop dramas, essentially. I mean, they focused a lot on that. Romantic thrillers, the killer, what is it? Basic Instinct, stuff like that.
Suspense thrillers, yeah.
Yeah, suspense thrillers. Like they didn't have a ton
Erotic
of martial
thrillers.
arts. Yeah. But I did rent, that's what I'm saying. I saw like The Last Dragon there. I rented Bloodsport from there. Like I'd seen stuff prior to Rumble in the Bronx, but it wasn't until I got a copy of that from there, and I think maybe it's because I was able to kind of choose that one on my own. Went there with my own money on it, like a Saturday. I was like, I'm gonna venture away from that stuff and go find this one thing. And it was when I got back home, I was like, this movie's amazing. Like it's better than any of the fighting stuff I had seen before that, and they kind of tinted the lens on how I saw, and then went back. And again, I was able to go back and appreciate other stuff because of that.
Gotcha. And and Pat?
Oh, Major Video, I believe it was on Palmdale Boulevard in Palmdale, California. They had a wide selection of martial arts films, but they had a very big red door that I was not allowed in.
Okay.
And that's
Fair enough.
A lot of space was taken up with that area.
Okay. Next episode is the beaded curtain.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Red door.
Yeah. I still want to know what's back there.
It's all the stuff it's all the leftovers from the stuff you find in the woods.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense.
But on that
it's
note,
all cycled.
On that note, in the video store that we went to, there was a Street Fighter arcade, thus also bringing into Street Fighter gaming and
it's amazing.
This place was incredible.
It was the best thing ever. But they also rented video games. But on that note, though, Street Fighter and then Street Fighter the movie does take us into Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat the movie, and how and we had WMAC Masters on TV as well.
Stop saying that.
We did though.
Why?
Stop it. Get some help.
It's part of this era, and it's part of the conversation. That's why it's all pertinent, because it's like we were flooded with Three Ninjas and Surf Ninjas, and this was the time that Power Rangers came out, and I saw Andre the Black Nerd speaking recently about how Power Rangers was like, it took the world by storm. I disagree. It took America by storm because the world had Sentai, and that's a different discussion. But on that topic, Ninja Turtles also brought martial arts to just everywhere, and we loved ninjas and martial arts in the 90s and 80s. So what did that seeding push forward in our films? And if we're counting Mortal Kombat as a martial arts film, are we counting Ninja Turtles as a martial arts film?
Yes. And I want to say that I wonder if it's just us being more naive in the 90s or we just had the ability to suspend disbelief when it comes to resolving things without death and guns. Because again, this is how a lot of stuff like the Ninja Turtles flourish, where you can have 6-foot giant Ninja Turtles beat up people and everybody be like, okay, that's the end of this episode, this is the end of this movie, everything's okay.
Well, because those are
now it's like everything needs to die. Like, yeah, that's the only way this thing ends.
We don't.
Speaking of Ernie Reyes Jr., in the suit. I'm sorry. Go on.
What?
Good.
Oh, wait, we got to go back to the pins.
Go to the pins.
That's Mortal Kombat. That was
yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
Well, no, I did. How much credit does Mortal Kombat get in this for kind of putting martial arts back in the spotlight, like kind of in the mid 90s?
Pat, I hate to do this to you, man, and I'm so sorry, but I think Mortal Kombat helped. I think Mortal Kombat helped with martial arts films directly with nerdy white guys.
Yep.
Right? And so
that's fair.
In the sense where it helps build our legitimacy into what I would I would say that Mortal Kombat was a certain age demographics gateway into anime, and then being that nerd at conventions a few years later.
What was I thinking? He wants to add me to his collection of decorative oriental objects.
And so it's this is kind of cool. Oh, and this is like a bunch of Asian people in it. Oh, what else do Asian people have? Oh, we have anime, and then the snowball.
Yeah.
That just rolls down the hill,
Are you stating that the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter cartoons were anime on USA? Is that the statement of Speaker JPG?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that when you got deep into Mortal Kombat, either game or show, either game or film, I would say if you got really deep into the game, it opened your eyes to a lot of other stuff because, okay, well, what is all this in reference to? Well, it's in reference to Eastern media. Cool. Let's check out what other sort of Eastern media there is. When you go and look pre-internet, when you go looking for this type of media, the next thing you're going to run into is anime.
As an American audience, I'm going to say the next thing you're going to run into is Toonami, but I think that's a much larger episode as well.
I would go. I'd go 10 years before that.
Yeah, that's pre-Toonami.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's well, then I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're also, I mean, then it's also like, but it's also the stuff that'll be on Toonami. Like for us, it was Channel 13 had Sailor Moon, and it, you know, we had some anime sprinkled throughout our programming, so it's like that was there for us to kind of imbibe. Unless you had a video store that had that, and that's kind of another. That kind of loops us back.
Yeah, we're talking. Okay, so August 1992 is when Mortal Kombat was released.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking, no, the game.
Okay, the arcade.
So the movie's 95 or 6.
Yeah, the film is I think my 95, and I'd have to check. Anyway, in the early 90s, the search for Eastern media was subjected to video stores and conventions where you have to buy the bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which now, okay, I will say as a tangent, I kind of miss the bootleg sort of stuff at conventions.
Yeah,
I mean, lost media is a fantastic topic, and it's like the idea that you can see these things that were not necessarily meant to see the light of day. The internet still has that. Like, we have Internet Archive, which is something people should definitely check out and dive into. But it's like the idea that you can get, like, I just saw a reel the other day of like, oh, this is the DVD of the first episode of not David Lynch. What was his name? The guy who did Ally McBeal.
David E. Kelly?
The
Harrison Ford?
No, David E. Kelly. No,
he was doing it.
Nice. David E. Kelly's Wonder Woman that was with Adrian Pilecki and
Pedro Pascal.
And Pedro Pascal, yeah.
Oh, man.
Those type of
He has not had a good run with Wonder Woman. Jesus.
I mean, he got paid, so...
I was going to say, one of them made him money.
Both of them probably made... I mean, he got some... he still got paid off the pilot. Like, even getting... Like, even if it didn't get residuals. Yeah, you still get paid for the job, for production. You don't get residuals, but it's still... Like, yeah, it's still a paycheck. But... that type of stuff is phenomenal, which I just saw another thing. Again, this is just me referring to other things. There's the original animated series of Invincible that was an iTunes download that was just the animated webcomic that's now kind of people like, oh, hey, did you know that it had an animated series before? It's like, I mean, kind of, and it's out there and it's voice acted, but people don't know about this. And those lost media pieces that is an era of things that are like, we're kind of coming back into the idea that when things get taken off of streaming, like if you want to go watch the sequel series to Willow, you've got to go to a convention and buy a DVD. Which I mean, I don't recommend doing that. Don't go see that. Don't go see that series. It's not worth your time.
I thought they had some interesting ideas, and if they would have given it a couple more seasons, okay, fantasy denim and leather, I'll give that to you. Okay. Fantasy denim. Yeah, fantasy denim. Yeah. I will give, like, it's a bad look. But it had some interesting ideas, and I did like a lot of the actors in it.
Here's the thing, though. To my point, though, is you're not, if you buy a bootleg, you're not funding the actors. It's not like if you buy a bootleg. If you're buying a DVD, maybe there's some like track back for the residuals. If you're buying the bootleg, none of that's going to them. So no one who was responsible for the creation is receiving funds. So that's why.
Chances are, if you're buying a bootleg, the thing has already been canceled or shelved.
You can't get it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And the other side of that is if we're buying a bootleg, it's not helping the corporation.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, in the case of this Willow series, just read the Wikipedia entry. It's fine. Like,
did we get through all the pins?
Well, I'm going to put another pin in because that reminded me.
That was the Mortal Kombat one. Yeah.
That was the Mortal Kombat.
But now I got to put another pin in that because it reminded me of the greatest bootleg VHS tape that I ever had was my parents got Masters of the Universe on bootleg VHS before it came out to home video. I don't know how they did it, but
how bananas is that film?
Oh, it's ridiculous. So like how much cocaine?
Yeah, like
all
that
of the
and
cocaine.
Howard the Duck.
Yes.
Are just insane 80s films.
Which are movies that will never get made. Which goes to our point now, why we won't get the same. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get the same sort of martial arts films as we did in the 90s. I think they are forever changed into this new amalgamation of CGI, Gunkata.
Yeah, it's
and a cool scene in a Marvel movie. That's about it.
But that comes down to it. And that's kind of like what part of my brain when we were discussing ideas for this is the downfall of the martial arts film is not necessarily indicative of just martial arts films. It's the downfall of all media. Like it's the fact that the corporate overlords don't want to put money into anything, so unless they know they're going to get their money back. So it has nothing to do with like it, because my I don't know if it's the right word. My supposition was that most people were going to say like, oh, it's because comic book films are all they'll make. It's like all they'll make is things they think they'll get a return on.
But in America, they don't allow you to do that, because money just poof.
Regardless of it's, an Indiana Jones film for the 6th time, or it's the 11th or 15th Fast film, like they're gonna just put out regurgitated stuff because they think they'll get money back on it. And if that's why we don't have we don't have anything come out anymore aside from the big blockbusters that everyone sees.
That is not true. We have horror movies.
Well, we have horror movies, but they're not given the budget that the big beasties are. But and that's where it comes to is that they're not willing to fund any of those other, like you can get an A24 film that's a horror film, but martial arts films take more money because you have to put in safety precautions.
No! Oh, guys, let it go back. Let it go back.
For that, and because they don't want to spend that money, so and say they don't want to spend that money, and I mean it just comes down to that they're not willing to put out the funds to make these anymore.
Well,
which
hold on
is
a second. There's a question though, because I want to know what were the budgets for movies like a Kickboxer or something, which again has a cult following of popularity. Like you can mention that to people. I don't know if when it landed in theaters or when it first released, was it a good movie? Was something that was like, hey, that's going to make us millions. That's going, straight to the top. I think it was more of like, hey, it's something else that, what was the name of the distribution company? It's like, hey, we'll put that out and we'll see where that goes from there.
I think it's more that they're not willing to roll those dice anymore.
My point is they don't even have to anymore with the level of CGI and the way that they cut movies. That's what I'm saying. From stuff like The Matrix, you could have, a John Wick movie. And they did John Wick. They had 4 of them, where you augment the martial arts into what you need it to be, and it doesn't cost you anything else to do it, because you're not using real actors who are putting themselves in real danger.
Right, but that's
okay.
But
so
we're not getting. Oh, go ahead.
We calculated this out. It was 2.7 million in Kickboxer came out in 1989. It's 2.7 million. So now, the money now would be a little bit over 7 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So Cradle to the Grave and Romeo Must Die were $25 million. And in today's funds, that would be about 44 million. So if you're looking for a more modern day, like what a Hollywood version that isn't an independent one that gets purchased.
Yeah. And we're still under the 50 million mark, which I would consider a mid-budget film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With 7 million, that would be considered a low-budget film, though, right?
Yeah.
I think
or
a
lower budget
romantic comedy does like 3 times as much as that, as far as budget's concerned, and there's no fighting in that.
Yeah, but the kissing.
Okay.
It's expensive.
There are a lot of kissing liabilities.
Fair enough.
So
you gotta get
the chapstick.
Romance.
Yeah,
intimacy coordinator. Costs a lot. Sure.
Think of the amount of cootie shots they have to have on set.
Cootie
to this
purist.
Like to this point, though, I think the questionable martial, if we're putting it in this camp of martial arts film, Nobody was done for 16 million, and that's a much more recent. Like, we don't really have to adjust. That was 2021, so it's like then your question be, but are we counting that as a full martial arts film, or are we counting that as an action film amongst the John Wick era, where it's like, yeah, he'll punch people, but are we counting that as martial arts? And
that's my point. I don't think we'll ever count anything as a martial arts film anymore. It'll all just be action film.
Well,
right, but why is that? And that I thought was the question of the podcast. Is
because
why
to my point, it's because of a Western audience who may not necessarily appreciate long, drawn out fight scenes as opposed to the immediate cuts you get for something like a Taken, which is how you keep actors that you like in these roles longer for less money. And again, if you're, to your point, Ken, the studio, we don't have to have him actually jump off the back of a movie chain. We just cut it to make it look like that. It doesn't cost us any extra money to do. So it's all a culmination. And then we get, again, the explosion of CGI.
Explosion of
CGI. And we get, the fact that a lot of these movies are just using martial arts as a tool and not as a character, not as a set piece, not as a plot point. It's just something added to it. And again, I think it's mostly evident when you realize that the fight choreographers from The Raid, which again, that entire movie's all fight, were ported over to the Captain America movie, Winter Soldier. And it just became part of that movie. And you realize that, hey, these guys spent their entire, however long it was to choreograph that entire movie of The Raid. And that was like their big thing. And now an American audience was like, oh, we just plucked these two guys and we made them update Captain America's fight choreography, but we don't count that as a martial arts film. It's just another piece that he has.
Do you know what tried to replace the martial arts film? It's the MMA film. Like, for a hot minute there, they tried to do that with MMA movies. I can't remember the name of the Tom Hardy one. Warrior.
Oh, Warrior.
Yeah.
Warrior. Okay.
Like, and Roadhouse, the new Roadhouse, he's MMA.
I would also
argue, I feel like it happened before that, though.
The most mainstream one that we can point out to, where it's because it's mainstream, it's kind of the death knell of MMA films also. Is Here Comes the Boom with Kevin, with Kevin. Why am I forgetting his last name?
Smith?
No.
The wrestler?
Kevin James.
No, Kevin James. Thank you. Yeah, who dropped a ton of weight for this.
But it still doesn't really show.
Yeah, but here's the although I enjoy the film at an emotional level, it's also okay. Well, now this is too mainstream, right? Like, now this is too much. The Ed Hardy Affliction T-shirt era has now officially died.
It died a while ago. I think it died shortly after.
Well, no, I mean, like,
you can still get those in Ross, guys. What are you talking about? They're still going.
Can you really? They just can't get rid of them, can they? It's like, oh, this shirt keeps coming back somehow.
I mean, Cole's has to carry something, so it's like, it's fine.
I get
like,
if I'm gonna pinpoint it. Again, we'll go to around the table and say when do you think it died? But I'm gonna say The Matrix. I think The Matrix killed the traditional martial arts film. I think at that point, when the bullet time was more appreciated and sought after than the fighting that he was doing, even though they had a whole section of like, hey, he's learned martial arts for a specific reason, but Agent Smith didn't really know martial arts. I think at that point they were like, you know what, guns and a little bit of martial arts is all we need. And I think they took it from there. And I think, movies like Cradle of the Grave and some other things, even though they had, key figures in martial arts, they were, again, side pieces to the action, the gunplay, all the ultra violence that thus ensued, and that we lost our ability to say, hey, this could end with punches and a handshake after a tournament or after a long series of the main character growing and the villain finally being defeated through a fight. Now, again, like I said, everyone has to either die or be obliterated of some sort. Like, there's no way you can just like, I'm going to punch you, and that's the end of the movie credits.
Well, I mean, and that's also, I mean, sorry to jump back. So, I mean, even with the Jackie Chan films, like I would say Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon, like the guy gets launched off the building with a rocket, and it's like because it's an American audience, we want an explosion.
That's right. Doesn't it,
to end the
in
film.
Rush Hour, you kicked out the window, right?
Yeah, it's or I would say one of them gets shot too. Like there's like the power dynamic shifts because we want a bigger good like sign off as opposed to just like a fight. And I don't know why that is. And I'm not sure if the Gord.
Oh, so to answer your question, okay. To answer both of your questions, I think it was 2012 when the Avengers came out. I think that was that was the turning point.
Okay.
And the answer that I have for this is that martial arts is and Kareem, you alluded to this also, but like martial arts is a character in the film. And martial arts as a character is the main character. Everybody plays secondary to the main character of martial arts. Once it was more important for the star to shine, that's where we lose it.
Yeah.
Right. Because now Captain America, and it hurts for me to say this too, because I'm such a big Captain America fan, but like once Captain America was more important than the actions he took, that's where martial arts really started dying as a genre, because we have to make the star the character and not the plot or a concept or whatever.
Well, I mean, to your point of it being a character, I remember figuring out what capoeira was because of Eric Roberts. Like, I had no idea what that fight style was until I watched Only the Strong, and I was like, you know what? That is a character. That is the focus of the movie, is that martial arts style, not just
was.
Go ahead.
Was Only the Strong? It was Eric Roberts and
I forget who the big dude was.
Oh my gosh, no, wait. I have to look this up now. Dang it. Because isn't it like the Olympics tournament or something like that?
No, he's at a school, and like they have the
Well, okay, no. Only the Strong is with Mark Dacascos.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That's I apologize. Yeah.
No,
Only the Strong
okay.
is the martial arts tournament, is the tournament. I'm thinking of God, what was that one called then?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm
Best
of the best.
Best of the best.
Oh no.
Yes.
So yeah, Best of the Best is Eric Roberts. Only the Strong is.
And it's Philip Ree, who's the other lead. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying, to honor your point of it being a character, like that is again the martial arts style. He's teaching the kids that like this is how you're going to protect yourselves, become better people. Learn through this, art style, fight style. And I think again, these are things that are highlighted in each movie. In Kickboxer, you obviously Muay Thai is like the main art style or fight style that they're going to be using. You get different characters in Bloodsport showcasing different fight styles and martial arts skills and things like that. So, but when we watch, Winter Soldier, it's just a blur of a blend of martial arts styles at that point. It no longer is it's you can't say, hey, this is Captain America's specific fight style. Like this is what he knows. He just kind of knows them all, and he kind of picks and chooses what he does against random characters, and the audience, just sees a blur of like, oh, he can punch people pretty far and with a really cool like finesse, but you don't understand like, okay, he's using this type of fight style against this type of person for this specific reason. It all just becomes, extra.
Pat's got an idea.
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to blame 9/11 for this somehow.
Dude, what?
Well, no. Pat, I'm going to go with Pat on this. I'm going to, catch what he's pitching. Again, we lose the ability to have a world where a thing can end in a fight. like everything, after 9/11, this is, kind of our discussion we had at Comic-Con, where everyone's sensibilities are shifted. They're rattled a little bit, but shifted, and the world is not the same. We're not, and I wouldn't say innocent. I think naive, propagandized is probably better words to use for the American audience. But things become harder, harsher realities, harder movies. Again, more explosive. The idea of terrorism is, the enemy that can't be seen but wants you dead at all times, at every corner. We no longer allow ourselves to say, hey, all it takes is a random YMCA fight in the valley to resolve all your issues.
The bad guy can't just be defeated and go away. I was also thinking that the jingoism that was brought along about that kind of put the incorporation of those martial arts elements into Western films and hyperdrive. It was, oh no, we've got to take this and put this in here to a, let's say, more palatable audience, a more palatable movie for the audience of the time that they wanted to cater to. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it does. There's like something that's been rattling around in my head for a good portion of the conversation too, is the TV show Warrior, and it's
love it.
Like 3
So good.
seasons, phenomenal series. And you've been mentioning that in the show that martial arts is a character, and it certainly is in that series, especially with the different tongs and their different styles of fighting and how that's brought up. But it's also also placed at the point that you guys said that like it has to be placed in the past, otherwise guns are the answer. And it's like you still have guns in Warrior, but it's like, since they're not like, assault rifles, you can definitely like, you get in close, you can stop a gun. Like they've shown that multiple times. But then it also makes me think of Andrew Koji as like a modern martial artist, and the lack of success of Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe film that came out, and it did have martial arts in it, but it also had guns, and its lack of playing, and it's just these are just ideas that rattling around in my head too, because it's like you speak to Kevin James and Here Comes the Boom, and that makes me think of Kevin James in an upcoming movie called Playdate, where he's with Alan Richardson, and how much that Reacher has been a success, whereas Warrior, it feels like it fell under the radar for a lot of people. And I think that like Reacher is a really good, like I enjoy it, but it is also like if you go back and watch the Tom Cruise stuff, it's just kind of clear like, oh, he's just the baddest guy. He is a Mary Sue, just like, oh, he's the best that there is at everything.
Yeah,
he just knows everything, and he's and in the Amazon one, he's huge, so he's even bigger and better. And
is Warrior
as opposed to?
Sorry, I thought.
No, you're good.
Is Warrior based on anything?
It's the book or the movie I think Bruce Lee wanted to make. They wouldn't allow him to do,
because Reacher.
Yeah, it was a bunch of the writings. Yeah.
Okay.
The writings are
Reacher is based on the Lee Child Jack Reacher novels, so it has a built-in audience already set to go.
And he's also supposed to be 7 foot in all of them.
Like the TV show is much more accurate to the book than tiny baby boy Tom Cruise.
But to that point, though, I mean, it's not exactly like, it's just like he's Batman because he's just the best at everything there ever was. And there's a code of like, oh no, he's always gonna do the right thing because that's what he should be doing. And it's very kind of just go for it.
No, I think you're getting to very, I think you're getting to a very deep point, in the sense where where an audience is always ready for an over 6 foot white man to just wreck and just to be the best, but we're not ready for a very handsome Asian man to save the day through his wits and skill, right?
No, you might try to sleep with the women. Can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, even between the first and second season, spoilers by the way, there is an interracial romance in the first season of Warrior, and then that gets completely put to the wayside in the second season, correct?
Yeah, because it does.
Yeah, they end up not being a couple.
Oh yeah.
There's little like, oh well, what about this? And she I think I'm trying to think what her role in the because she ends up it does for the most part. It predominantly like they still have scenes together, but it's not the romance that was kindled within the first season.
Hold on, but they acknowledge first they acknowledge the relationship and they acknowledge why they had to actually end it though. This isn't like, they just stopped talking. There's specific reasons.
There's specific reasons
why this goes away.
Yeah, but I mean but to the point though, it does go away, and because they can't have that on broadcast television, or not broadcast television, but pay cable.
The idea that it was there to begin with, to start off with, is an acknowledgement. Like there's an audience for that. But again, when you had Tia Leone in the movie, again in the original script, supposed to be with Will Smith, and they had to rewrite all of that out of the entire thing. That showed you that the audience wasn't ready then for that. The fact that you can start off the show with this relationship and then end it afterwards doesn't mean that audiences weren't ready for it. They were like, hey, if you're ready or not, this is what you're getting.
Yeah, I don't know if the argument is if they were ready for it or not. I think it's the argument of if they were ready to have it stick.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody is a Ted Lasso fan.
Yeah,
but it's the same sort of feeling of Sam hooking up with the boss.
Spoilers for season 2.
Sorry, spoilers for season 2.
Yeah,
but it's like, oh, cool, like big flash in the pan, and like, yes, I understand it goes over an entire season, but when it comes to the longevity of 3 seasons, and they should have gone longer, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like,
spoilers. There's a 4th season.
You kind of white woman baited us.
I guess. Yeah. I personally had again, this is just me. I personally had no issue with the way that the main character moves on from that relationship because it felt.
I have no issue how the characters move on from it. I have an issue about how the show moves on from it. About how the narrative moves on from it.
You haven't changed at all.
You have. But you're still you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean there is at least one good moment where I mean again, spoilers for the show but
because they have another one in season 2 and 3 as well.
They also have a season 4 coming up, but there's going to be another season. But there's a moment where Rebecca meets I'm horrible. Meets Sam's father, and like he's like no, he's told me so much about you. Oh. And like they acknowledge like the May December of it and the power dynamic, and they kind of like at least they like nod to it. They do go on and move forward, but there is like we do acknowledge it, but yeah, it doesn't answer the question, but at least they do like also like, hey, yes, we did leave this, and there's probably a number of reasons why that didn't work out. But yeah. But they were too busy with Warrior. They're too busy throwing everything else at the show to be like, oh, well, we're just going to be done with this character. And they essentially they shuffle loose that character to like the background as well, and like put sexier, because the other side of Warrior is that it's trying to be an HBO Game of Thrones. There's like, here's some action, killing, and sex, and then some more action and killing.
Oh, it's Spartacus.
No. Spartacus was sex. Someone died. Sex.
Spartacus was gratuitous.
Spartacus was Red Shoe Diaries.
It was called
with a lot of
sand. It was called Sex and Blood, wasn't it?
I think so.
Blood and Sand.
Right.
Blood, I don't know.
Nope. Sex and Blood is better.
Yeah. That was really close.
Sexy Blood. Spartacus. Sexy Blood.
That's the film that's behind the beaded curtain.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, Ken.
I was gonna say it feels like we didn't. I mean, I don't know if the other episode that I want to do is just listing great martial arts films to watch, like Ong Bak or Gen X Cops, but like there's things that we didn't quite touch on, and I'm like, I kind of want to like there are those to talk about, but I think I don't know where we are with kind of the conclusion of like what cost us the loss of this.
I mean, I think well, we all had our different pinpoints on what we thought it was, but whatever it was, it happened, mid 2000s essentially. At some point in the mid 2000s, the audience, the actors, the way that films were written, films were directed, films were cut up, regurgitated and processed and marketed towards us, all kind of just washed out a lot of that as the main focus of those type of movies. They were just parts of it now.
I hate to bring this full circle, but this is just like the Microsoft Activision merger that we had talked about, right? Where in this merging, we lose the identity of something that is very important to a very specific generation, and the generations before that as well. And now current generations don't understand the impact that it took in order to get us to this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Message.
What a neat
cool,
bow that we're tying on all of this.
Kareem, when you edit this, could you put "Good Riddance" by Green Day over that?
Yes,
thank you.
I would definitely do that. Well, I have one last question, and maybe this will get to Ken's point of maybe highlighting some additional movies. But we do have at least a successor to that in Cobra Kai. How do we bring? Is there a way to, if we could have a fantasy world where we could bring that back? How would we go about doing that?
I've got two answers to that.
Yeah,
and one is that it is things move to television, like Warrior, like Cobra Kai, and which can be better in that you get more time to know these characters. You get more time to know the world, as opposed to a movie where you have, I was going to say an hour and a half, but that was our time, 3 hours to 2.5 hours to know this world. In a TV show, but in a TV show, you've got a whole season of 10 whole episodes, maybe, because that's how we do TV now. But you do have more time to live in that world. The other side of it is projects that are smaller, like Rocket Jump right now is trying to fund a new movie called Nail House, which if those who don't know, Rocket Jump, they blew up in the 2000s, and they were I want to say a YouTube sensation, kind of creating small independent projects. They did things like Video Game High School and Anime Crimes Division, and they did other small, they did projects that were just made to be kind of fun things for them to do. And with crowdfunding being a thing, when you're not trying to pay for someone's heart surgery, you can also try and fund films that are, for you to check out and be like, oh, cool. Maybe I played a role. I donated $50. I got the DVD Blu-ray combo, and I got to have that. So, I mean, those are kind of the two avenues we have, is maybe this or maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's my answer.
That's a good one, actually. I mean, yes, I think with the ability for some streaming platforms, I'm not saying all of them, some, perhaps Netflix, being able to subsidize projects like this that studios necessarily won't, because they're all based on algorithms and dollars and cents. Maybe we do get, additional things like Cobra Kai or Warrior or other projects in that same vein. So hopefully.
It's all based on algorithm. So you just have to start hammering the algorithm with martial arts movies on Netflix, and then they will start making more movies.
I mean, that's how we got Karate Kid Legends, and we got, but I mean, that also ties back to Jason's point. Like, well, we got to make sure we have a white Pacey in it, so that he's there to be there for the audience. So I don't know.
Also, to connect to Ken's point as well, is the idea that we have to switch to mediums that allow failure, right? So with making the switch from film to television, making the switch from film to video games. A game that recently came out a little bit ago, and that was also featured in Secret Level on Amazon, was Sifu. And the whole
so good.
the whole point of Sifu is the idea that you are embracing your mistakes, and as you get older, you lean into the experience and the mistakes that you already have.
Oh no, I was just as dumb at 67 years old as I was at 21. It's getting my ass beat left and right. It was ridiculous. It took a while for me to get that game.
But when we can embrace failure and the montage, I think that's when martial arts can make their true comeback.
I also think we need to redefine the underdog. I think there.
Yeah, I mean that's
central to
fair,
a lot of these martial arts films is that you need an underdog that can grow, and that people go along for that journey for it. I don't think we get that as well. At least not as portrayed as well.
Absolutely, because we're in a weird time where it's like people watched movies in the 80s and 90s and got the wrong message or thought that they were the Rebel Alliance when they were actually the evil empire, and to the point that when people started talking about Karate Kid, they're like, oh yeah, Johnny Lawrence is the Karate Kid, which we all know comes that discussion is an internet meme, and then it becomes the Cobra Kai series. But then we also have good character growth from that, so it's hard to be like, yes, we need to redefine the underdog, but it's tough because I don't think some people will never accept that accountability and realize that they were the bully in high school. And
no, I agree with you. But there is an appetite for it, as evident by the Creed movies. Again, we were asking if Rocky was a martial arts film, and because of the genre, because of the style of fighting, a lot of people would, say no. But I think the actual premise of like, hey, this is a guy who's learning and evolving through a trained fighting style, fighting skill, and it all culminates with a big fight at the end, and that is how you depict a winner and loser. And they both kind of, unless you're Apollo Creed, you walk away from the fight to do it again. The Creed films.
You said that, and it still felt too soon.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad when I was saying it. I'm gonna take a shower, but I think the Creed films are at least showing us that, hey, there's still an appetite for that type of movie. Mm-hmm. I think so. Hopefully, we can cash in on that.
Then we are saying that Creed is a martial arts film.
I think just like Rocky is. I think to the average person, it's not, because of boxing.
It is a fight.
Okay, then are we accepting that the third one, taking its anime influences, is that where that's going to go? Because that's also part of the conversation. Is that in the third one, I believe it was a lot of that. The choreography was an homage to anime fights as well.
Are we talking about the one with Drago?
Or
that's
is
the second one. The third one's with Kang, the actor who played Kang.
Okay. Are we talking about Rocky or Creed?
I'm sorry. I was talking about Rocky. Yeah. I was talking about
Rocky. Okay. I was talking about Creed, but yes, if you're talking about
Rocky 3 is Clubber Lang.
Yeah, Clubber Lang and Hulk Hogan.
Thunder Lips.
Oh God, no. Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of bad context.
It's fine. He's still dead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's still dead. But I mean, so which one were we talking about for the anime inspiration, Ken? Were you talking about?
It's Creed 3. Creed 3 was, to my understanding, and again, having not seen it, I do remember discussions about how they pulled from a specific fighting manga, Hajime no Ippo.
Hajime no Ippo. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like that's then are we like, okay, well, it's a martial arts film, but it's also, is it an homage to that, or is it, and that also takes us to, is it cultural appreciation or appropriation? And that takes us back to Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. And yeah, I love that movie. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's to the point that Jason made earlier, where it's one of those natural progressions when you get an audience for one thing, and they start to explore others based off of that. So again, if you are saying, hey, we consider this a martial arts film, and people who like martial arts are like, hey, I'm looking at the fight style, this does remind me, or what is this from? Why does it look different than perhaps the first Rocky or the first two Creeds? and then you find out like, oh, it's based on anime, an anime movie or anime series in general. Let me go see what that anime series is like. And now you're in the world of anime, and you're going to start exploring, branching out from other fight shows or series that are similar. And you might find yourself, somewhere down the way watching Tenchi. Who knows?
And now, because you have the context of the internet, this is going to go a lot more smoothly for you, and you don't need to be a weird nerd in early conventions.
Yeah. Getting duped by guys at movie theater or movie store, or what was it? The video store telling you, hey, hentai is the same thing as anime.
Oh, God. Yeah, we got.
You don't even have to walk behind the.
We got bad.
It's an art, okay? It's an art form.
Just a little warning would have been good. Just a little warning.
Yeah, it would have helped us out. Pat and I had a bad experience.
So next episode of Tangential Giants, we're going to be talking about what's behind the beaded curtain.
Join us on our 5-part discussion on Urutsu Doji, the Overlord.
I was going to make the joke of, this is going to be the 5-part series behind the green door, but the green door is a beaded curtain.
Yeah.
But I think my knowledge of that would have gone too deep.
It would have been more than 5 episodes. This guy.
Tentacles.
Good night, everybody. You want to tell people where they can find you?
JPG, where can they find you, follow you?
Oh, yes.
Other than your podcast here.
So once again, I am Jason Patrick Gallett, also known as JPG. I'm a pop culture educator and consultant. You can find me on all social media at SpeakerJPG, and I also run a pop culture consultancy firm called Intermyth, where we help marginalized communities either launch or improve upon their work in the pop culture space. Thank you for having me on, guys, and thank you for letting me continue my joke about owning Tangential Giants. I really appreciate it.
I mean, the paperwork that really took it.
Yeah, right.
That made it less.
It's weird. Joke. It's weird that you don't have to copyright. Not that I know of anything about that or whatever.
It was also being weird being served too. It's like, oh, your friend.
I just can't believe he actually hired a dance crew to serve you the legal papers. That was impressive.
That was finesse.
Well, yeah, he wanted. Yeah.
And it was the same guys from You Got Served.
Well, they
were all up for it. It was like their own cameo.
We'll say he ain't got money.
But the
Little Saint was dead.
The crumping one, not the first film. The crumping one.
Could even get the white dude from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Spiky hair. That hair gel will pay for itself.
Nope. He still got spikes.
Good night, everybody.
And then out of sleep.
Da, 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 da.
You have to stop it fast.